Hey guys, I had been working really hard to get this week pre-recorded and all set to go and put out, and this video is kind of gonna get dropped into the mix, but it's an important video because today we got some big news. Today while I was driving Maggie to ABA, the phone rang and it was the geneticist calling with the results from Tessie's genetic testing. And I actually pulled over to like a park and ride area at the side of the highway and I parked the car. And he said, like, you definitely need to be parked for this conversation we're gonna have, and I'm gonna give you the short version and I want you to come in later and we can have a talk about the longer version, which is a very different conversation from the other conversations I've had with geneticists who are like, yeah, it's nothing, it's fine, she's fine. All the other conversations have always been like that. It was nothing, we found nothing, she's fine. And so this was definitely different, and he started off with, we found a few things, and I'm just going to give you the briefest little bit on a couple of the main things that we found, and just very kind of skim over the top of what we found and what it might mean. And these were mights and maybes. They don't know for sure what they mean. However, it felt like a really big deal to us because of what it did mean when he told us what the gene mutation was. I'm gonna bring it up on my phone because I can't remember this off the top of my head. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Usually it's not like this. Usually it's a lot more upbeat and we're having fun and it's not usually this serious. Today I'm a little bit more serious because this is like just, it's big news, and on the one hand it makes me feel hopeful because I'm really hoping that this means that maybe Tessie's breathing machine will never be in danger again for the rest of her life. I'm praying that's what this means. At the same time though, I've thought that so many times before, and so I'm really afraid to like have that sort of hope. The geneticist said that Paul and I, we've always kind of joked like, we know that there has to be something, that we know that one of us has to have a genetic mutation. We have to. And who is it? We've joked back and forth about that kind of for the last couple of years. And it turns out that it is both of us. Paul and I both have an autosomal recessive gene. And my recessive gene is, he said, 1 in the hundreds of thousands. Mine is found in 0.04% of the population, and Paul's is found in 0.2% of the population. And the mutations we have never been seen together before, he said. The combination, they happen to be, here is the super fun part, the autosomal mutations that we have happen to be on the same gene. So we have these super rare mutations, both of us. And when we go to genetic testing, the first thing they ask us is like, are you related? No, we aren't even. I laughed the first time they asked that and was like, no, we did our ancestry thing and we're not even sixth cousins. We are like, yeah, our families aren't even from the same countries. Not at all. Because they ask you that when you get genetic testing because your kids have learning disabilities and stuff like that. That's one of the questions that they will ask you. Anyways, so the gene that we both happen to have the same 1 in 100,000 chance mutations on is MY01H. And this gene is responsible for the production of myosin, which he said had to do with a fiber in muscles. And problems with this gene in the one study, in the one family that has been studied with this in the world, it was found that the children that had this gene mutation had ventilation issues, congenital central hypoventilation syndrome, which is what they believed Tessie had when she was little, but she didn't have the FOX2B gene, and so they said she couldn't have it. So they put that aside and said she couldn't have it because she didn't have that gene. Well, apparently this gene also can cause that. So we're kind of back there. It can also cause developmental delays, which here we are. So we don't know for sure which of our kids have it, and because this isn't established, because there's only one case study in the entire world, one other family that is known to have this gene, they can't say like, yes, this is what's causing her breathing problems. However, the other family that is known to have this gene mutation happens to have the same breathing problem, central apnea, that Tessie has. So that's a really big coincidence. And then they found another gene mutation that Tessie has that she inherited from me. That I have the same mutation that is called EXT2 that causes osteochondromas, which means that we are both prone to bone tumors, benign bone tumors, which they asked if I had bumps on my bones and I was like, no. But now I'm kind of like feeling them. No. They said I would know by now if I was going to get them, I guess. So something to look at, something else to look out for. And Tessie, she doesn't have bumps on her bones either that we've seen, which is a good thing. Hopefully the fact that I don't will mean that she won't see that either, I guess. At least they're benign. Anyways, so he said that they were putting in for our insurance to test the other kids too now. And the thing is that I have seen James stop breathing many times, many more times than I've ever seen Tessie stop breathing. And when Tessie was when Sadie was a baby, I told Sadie's doctor that I thought that she had apnea, and Sadie's doctor said that I was a paranoid first-time parent and that she absolutely didn't have apnea, similar to what I was told with Tessie. And I believed him. We had like a little baby mat thing that went under her thing, and I was told that it was probably just malfunctioning when it went off. And I believed that too because it wasn't a medical monitor, and so it probably was just malfunctioning, I told myself. So now, here we are. We found out that we have this gene that causes this. Tessie happened to have her 2-year check today, and we talked to her doctor about it, and he said the fact that we both have autosomal recessive genes, I hope I'm saying that right, I just read it and I don't remember how the doctor said it, and my brain is like scattered in 1,000 different directions. Our children should each have a 25% chance of inheriting the gene, of inheriting the bad gene from both of us. So each of our kids should have a 25% chance of having the mutation from both of us. And they have to get it from both of us to have it, to have the full mutation like enacted, to have the disorder, the disease, the breathing problems that Tessie has. She has it from both of us. So each one should only have a 25% chance. So I guess we will see. The upside is that this is what I've been hoping for all this time. I mean, I even said it in the neurology appointment, was that if we were going, I felt like at this point, if we were going to get any answers to basically save her breathing monitor and keep her breathing monitor, that genetics was our last hope. I just felt like so many different specialties had examined her so thoroughly, and everyone would say like, oh, this is odd, this is so odd, and nobody could find an actual why. And now there is actually a possibility that maybe we're going to find a why now. I have no idea if finding the why is going to mean anything for where we go from here, or anything really, other than maybe it'll mean that she gets to keep her monitor, and maybe it'll mean that we don't have to fight for it every 6 months or live in fear of her losing it. That's really the only thing that I know at this point. Anyways, so I'm not sure this really answers anything at all. But, well, it does answer one thing. There is something genetic, and it is an autosomal recessive gene that Paul and I both have. That's how we got here, with our awesome zany family. The only thing that I would change is that one part of the gene that like makes our kids not breathe in their sleep, whichever kids have it. That's the part that I would change. I really wish everyone would just keep breathing. So that's kind of the one part that freaks me out. The rest is, I'm okay with the rest. I'm okay with not being neurotypical. I'm okay with this whole neurodiversity thing. But the central apnea freaks me out. I could do without that. Anyways, so that's the update. I know it's not like a normal little sit down. I'm not all dressed up. I'm exhausted. It's been a really long day. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.